Okay, let's do the third attack, which is kind of segued from the last attack, where I was able to hold on to a truth. Okay, let's clarify. How many times do I have to tell anybody that alcohol is the wide open door to the demonic to drive your skin suit around and make you say and do things you regret? It's true. It's so true that I'm just super glad God got a hold of me and I no longer drink not even one drop. Now, not to say that, other people out there who do drink, that's between you and God and you got to decide for yourself. But I have had more attacks from friends who had been drinking than practically anything else. Here's the next attack. Once again, heavy duty liquor. Once again, a lot of anger. Once again, a demonic entity driving this friend around. And I had glibly told another friend like a week ago, I know you're getting attacked about, from this person or whatever, but just pray for them. And I have said that before, and Frank, the previous videos I've told you about the possession, number 1 and 2 videos that I did, or 3 videos on possession I did. I had also been very glib about that too. But in this instance, it was like the first time I'd been glib about, hey, pray for it, and pray for this person, or pray for this situation, right? Just do that. Well, I'm being attacked, and this is a little later on in my walk with God and my sobriety, and I felt like I had, a little bit of a handle on prayer, and that I would just jump to that and it would be okay. Well, frankly, it wasn't, because the attack went on for like 13 hours. It was a lot of anger and screaming, and then, of course, some past instances thrown in my face, and just like everything that could be thrown at me was thrown at me, so that I would pressurize and drink, or pressurize and leave, or pressurize and fight my own battle. So I had been praying during this time period, but I'm going to tell you, sometimes you can be so drained by being chased by a wolf. You're a little sheep chased by a wolf, separated from your flock, alone, and being chased down. You're being run down. And so, then the wolf can eat you. Like, that's literally the analogy that it is. You are being run into the ground so that you can make a mistake and be eaten in some way, shape, or form. And I was being run into the ground. I was being run into the ground so hard that I just didn't have any strength. I didn't have any strength to pray. I didn't have any love left in me, even. Like, the love was drained from me. All I had was some hopelessness and some grief, some depression. My peace was gone. My joy was nowhere to be found. None. I could not sing "The joy of the Lord is my strength." I could not pray. In fact, I felt like I'd been scraped across concrete and then run over by a semi-truck and then set on fire and then stomped and then scattered to the wind. I don't know how else to tell you how I felt. There was nothing left inside of me. That's how bad the rundown by the wolf had been. And as I say to you, very much so, that alcohol is a wide open door to a demon, that's exactly what I was dealing with. And so I was sitting there not calling out to God, but my brain was like, you got to do something. You got to do something. Okay, you can't pray, and you don't even want to pray for this individual, and your love has become that finite end that you feel like you have, and God's love is infinite. I had learned that a week or two before. Man's love is finite, and sometimes it's only if you act right, then I will love you. And then God's love is infinite, and it covers so many things. And so, I was sitting there trying to struggle with that concept at the time, that my finite love had ended, and I was sitting on my back porch as far away as I could from this friend, and trying to grasp anything that would help me through this moment. Just help me through this moment. And I know this was from God, and it was the simplest truth, the simplest thing that I could grab hold of, the simplest truth about myself and my relationship with God, the most childlike, simplest truth that I could hold on to. And that is the song, Jesus Loves Me. And so I started to sing that. I know, it's weird. It's childish. I don't care. It worked because I started singing, Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so. And I tell you what, I sang that song over and over again. Yes, I did. I sang it over and over again. It was a whisper for the most part because I didn't have nothing left. I had nothing left, but I had that truth. There was that truth that I knew. I knew that song was true from the bottom of my toes. I knew that song was true in my heart and my soul. I knew that song was truth. And so no matter what would happen in my life from here on out, no matter what would happen in the next 5 minutes, no matter what would happen, that was the truth that I could hold on to. And so I held on to it and I sang it. There was nothing else in my anything that I could do at the time. And I literally went back to my other friend after this situation had worked itself out because the Lord handled it. And I won't get into how. I'll just state he handled it. But I went back to that other friend who I had glibly said, oh, just pray about that or that person. And I apologized for being so, oh, that'll just be your cure-all. Because I had reached the end of my everything at that moment. And there was nothing else that I could think of. Nothing. I had been run down so hard by the wolf that my whole soul couldn't even think of anything to grab hold of. But that song, but that truth that God gave me right at that moment, like, excuse me, there's something in my eye. He gave me that. He gave me that truth. It was so simple. And I say to you guys, when you're under attack, keep it simple. Find something simple. Hold on to something simple, a simple truth. That God is. Jesus loves us. Jesus loves us no matter what. Jesus loves us no matter what happens. Jesus loves us no matter what situation we find ourselves in, no matter what conflict. With that simple song, I didn't match vibe. I didn't fight and make it worse. I didn't burn my house down. I didn't leave. I didn't nuke the situation. I didn't add to the negative. I didn't drink. I didn't react negatively. I didn't pile on what was going on. In fact, I was so blameless in that situation that, there was a lot of apology and it wasn't mine. So, I must tell you that even though I say a lot in these videos, hey, pray, sometimes it's almost impossible. And you have to hold on to the simplest crap to get you through that moment, to have you act as Jesus would like you to, as God would like you to. Keep it simple. And be still, like I know now what be still and know that I am God kind of pretty much means. Like that moment where all I could do was sing a simple song, and the previous episode I gave as well, was that moment of be still. That was that moment of be still where I just let God handle it. and I let him fight my battle, and I let him handle that moment, and I held on to the simplest thing that I could hold on to, even though I didn't have any strength left, even though I didn't have any will left or love left or anything left. I could hold on to that. So I give that one to you guys because it's so good. All right. That was that episode.